Hey everyone, welcome to the Digital Devils podcast where we cover the latest gaming news each week. I'm your host, Mr. Cool, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Hunter and Fallen. How's it going, my dudes?
Going pretty good so far. Pretty good.
Still alive, still kicking, and still chill.
So, as always, we'll be going through the latest gaming news of the week, and I'll put the links in the description for all the articles we cover. So, let's get straight into it. And our first topic is about Dante, because we used to be a Devil May Cry channel, so we definitely should cover this. Dante will be a character in Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. That is a title. Okay.
All right. Here's how I'm gonna tell you. Since I do play the SMT games, I'm gonna tell you how to shorten it. It's SMT Nocturne. That's all you say, and then HD. That's all you gotta say.
I like the longer title better.
Because you like making these difficult for yourself.
So, what do you think? He'll be paid DLC, obviously, and yeah, I mean, put Dante in every game, and I'm cool with that, even if I don't play it.
I mean, but my whole thing is they're making the game $60 anyway, and the game's like really old. Why am I paying full price for it? And on top of that, to replace Raito Kuzunoa excuse me, why would I pay for Dante just to have the option to switch him in and out? Raito is by far going to be the more difficult boss than Dante because he's the story boss that should have been there.
Well, still, you
Let's
get to play as the most badass character in all of video games. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Okay, so the game
but
is scheduled to launch in
it's
spring of.
DMC2 Dante. Do we really need it?
Sure, why not?
Really? Really? DMC
Well,
Dante?
well, the reason why it's DMC2 Dante is because it was DMC2 Dante in the original. It was cross promotion with the game with DMC2 at the time.
I mean, DMC2 needed all the help it could get, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and he was also the most RPG looking of the Dante designs. So I see why he's in an RPG.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Okay, so it's scheduled to come out in spring of 2021 on PS4 and Nintendo Switch. So yeah, we just wanted to touch on the news because it is Dante. So that's it. Let's move on. Let's talk about Halo. This is all you, Hunter, because you're the Halo guy on the podcast. So it has been delayed to 2021. This is one of the biggest games for Xbox Series X, and it's not coming out until next year now. So, what do you think about this?
Well, here's the thing. This is the first time that Xbox has gone without a Halo at launch ever. And this is going to definitely affect console sales because I know I would get one. I know that only reason I followed the Xbox at all was to get the next Halo title. I was like that for what the 3.5 with the ODST, Halo 4, and Halo 5 is the only reason why I've played all of them. Is because they're really good games, and it's unfortunate that 343 is a lack of a better term, a shit show of the studio right now. They can't produce a good game. They're just having internal problems. They outsourced more work to outside contractors. So hopefully we can get a good game out of this. But I'm not sure if it's going to hold up in time because this is the first open world Halo game, for the lack of a better term. Besides, they've only tried this approach with one other title. I think it was the ODST, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what happens. I like the fact that they gave him back his classic armor with the serial number on it as well. But the story is something I'm worried about with the villains. Because if you don't play Halo Wars 2, you're not gonna know who the villains are. I'm like, no one played Halo Wars. No actual fan of Halo except in Halo Wars. was an RTS. Like Halo was intended to be on the Mac, but no one I know has personally played it other than my dad. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I hope it turns out to be a good product. But man, Xbox is going to struggle without it at launch.
Yeah, it's very surprising. A lot of people have speculated that the reason they're delaying it is because of the quote unquote backlash to the gameplay we saw. Um, like due to the
To be honest,
graphics. Yep.
the graphics look fine. It's just they need to upscale some of the enemy texture. The graphics itself looks fine. Halo 4 had a similar look to it. If they were trying to go back to Halo 4's graphics or merge Halo 4 with Halo 2 graphics, then that's fine. They can be polished, but they didn't need that much more polish. Because everyone wanted to be butthurt, whiny crybaby over it. And I was like, shoot, if this is the direction Halo's going, I'm all for it. But hey, 'cause I like Halo. I play Halo for the story, believe it or not, and the multiplayer. It's the only reason you play Halo. You don't do it for anything else. I don't care how good it looks as long as it plays well.
Yeah, I thought people were kind of overreacting. I don't think any game will look that bad on the new consoles. Everything that
Well,
we've seen so far.
here's the thing. They wanted their map that looks like Mega Blocks, and it kind of does. But the thing is, it's like Halo 4 kind of took that approach. Everybody said everything looked like Mega Blocks in Halo 4, but didn't complain when the final game came out. Um, what they were expecting something along the quality of like the anniversary editions, where they retouched all the textures and made everything high quality, redid the cutscenes for the anniversary editions. But the thing is, it's like those games actually needed the help. So what are you talking about? I mean, they didn't remaster Halo 3, but yet everybody's cool with it. And Halo 3 needed more help than Halo 2 did as far as graphics went. So, whatever.
Yeah, so
The Halo community is entitled crybabies. That's all I'm going to say.
okay, so it has been delayed from a planned holiday 2020 launch to unspecified release date in 2021. But it's probably for the best. It's probably going to be, like you said, more polished when it does actually come out.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I mean, they worse.
And
Uh,
and as for Fallen, I mean, unless you have anything to say, we'll move on.
Man, Halo.
Jeez. Well, I do have one thing to say. I mean, I've been here for the rise and fall of Halo esports and the rise of it again. So it's like Halo has hit its peaks and valleys. So I think it'll be okay in the end.
Yeah, it will. All right, let's move on and let's talk about Epic Games versus Apple. This is there's quite a lot that's happened recently between these two companies.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um.
so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. They need to. They're saying this. I hope Epic loses in court so they can go back and make an Unreal tournament. That is all.
So apparently, Epic Games has sued Apple. I mean, I'm trying to find all the info here, but yeah. So it's an ongoing situation, and it's a mess. Like two huge companies going against each other, and Fortnite is no longer in the App Store, I believe. So
Hang on. Hold up. So actually, Fortnite isn't on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
But is Epic only suing Apple over this?
It's only suing Apple. I think it's going after both. I think it's only going after Apple. I mean, think about it. The Epic has money, but they don't have the money to take on Google and Apple at the same time. You got to pick one or the other.
I mean, to be fair, who does have the money to take on Google usually? And
Yeah.
unless we have like a solid case, but this is
They
nowhere near
don't.
that. Like
There are.
Epic's basically trying to win the people's vote instead of the court vote, but they're losing that too because it's V-Bucks. You know, they're lowering the price, sure, but they could have always lowered the price.
Yeah, but the thing is, the community sucks. The Fortnite community honestly sucks. So,
I mean, it's not like they're rallying behind Epic right now.
nope,
If anything, I've seen everyone just kind of dunking on them. Like
nope.
far be it from me, I don't like Apple at all. I don't own any Apple products, but Epic's in the wrong here.
They are.
I mean, so apparently Apple takes 30% of everything from the App Store, every paid thing from the App Store. So yeah, I mean, it's just it's a billionaire companies just going against each other. So
Yeah, but the thing is, it's their platform. They can do what they want. You have to abide by their rules. You're in their house. The fact they're allowing you to sell something to make anything is this should be respected by the two companies.
and I assume there's a bunch of players on Apple devices that play Fortnite. So this could make them lose a chunk of money for this period of time. So,
And what the thing is not the thing is that but they're making most of their money from console and PC players,
yep.
and there's still ways to get the mobile version of Fortnite. You can just go down to the you can just go to the Epic store on your mobile device and just download it. So mobile players aren't completely in the dark about getting the game. It's still there if they want it. They just have to look.
And yeah, so do you guys know anyone that actually plays Fortnite on an iPhone?
I don't know. I'm not friends with Fortnite players. I'm only friends with one, and that's because he plays other things.
Yeah, same. I mean,
I
like, yeah.
I don't. Okay, so I do know Fortnite players, but that's because my friends are trash.
Damn, dude.
Um, hey, hey, I don't hear shit from you.
Yeah, you have Fortnite
You're
friends.
one of my trash
I
friends.
don't play Fortnite.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
just means
I don't.
that's
I
literally
don't play.
bottom of the barrel of not being a generous, my dude. Bottom of the
Yeah,
barrel.
but I don't even play Fortnite.
Anyways, none of them play mobile as far as I know, except for like my little brother. But he's young. He makes bad life decisions. He'll learn.
But still, you're friends with
Yeah,
Fortnite players, dude. Ugh.
I'm friends with you.
Well, yeah, but I don't play Fortnite.
You have bad opinions,
We'll get to that.
but like you are the type of person I would expect to play Fortnite.
I still don't get the Fortnite hype, but whatever. So yeah.
Fortnite's never been hype. It only got hype because it was free, and 12-year-olds that just got their next gen console didn't have to beg mommy for a game.
Yeah, but it's like the popularity of this game is like I don't get it. I really don't get it. But hey, man, have enjoyed this game, so good for them, I guess.
Boy, I mean, if you really want my honest opinion on Fortnite, it's honestly the most ADD Twitch shooter I've ever played. And to be honest, and like if you're hyped up on 1,000 Monster Energies and possibly 3 cups of G Fuel on top of those Monster Energies, then you might be good at it.
Hey,
It requires controller. It requires finger gymnastics the likes you've never seen to actually be good at it. Have to get a controller with back paddles to get a Fortnite. That's how bad it is.
yeah, I don't really get it. But anyways, this is still a developing story. If anything big happens, we'll be sure to cover it, right? So
I want Fortnite to.
okay,
If they can get back to making the game I really want.
let's move on, and let's talk about July 2020's best-selling games. So obviously, no surprise, number one is Ghost of Tsushima. This is still a game I really want to get, but it's really expensive, so I'll just wait until the price lowers. Number two is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Three, Paper Mario: The Origami King. Four, The Last of Us Part Two. Five, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. And yeah, there's 20 games listed here, but yeah. So, do you guys have any thoughts about the list or anything that stands out to you?
Uh, Everything's right where it should be.
That's true.
Everything is right where it should be. That's all you can really say. I mean, the fact that Ghost of Tsushima beat The Last of Us 2 was all I needed.
Yeah, I'm really glad this game is getting so much
Because,
love.
well, here's the reason why I say that is because the studio that put actual time, work, and love into what they produced deserves it more than the schlock that is The Last of Us Part 2.
I'm reminded of The Last of Us 2, and I'm sad.
Yeah, like
See, you know what? You know what? I trash on. I'm gonna say this. I trash on The Last of Us 2 a lot because of the story. The gameplay actually isn't bad. I'll say that. At least the combat.
yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what most people have said. The gameplay is really good, and the story is, mixed reactions. So, but yeah,
There's nothing like leading a bunch of clickers to a group of just, you know, unknowing people than watching them get eaten.
Yeah, that'd probably be a highlight for me. But that'd
It's
be all.
it's very satisfying.
Okay. Well, at least I have that going for it.
so yeah, like I said, I'm just so glad Ghost of Tsushima is getting so much love. I love Sucker Punch. Infamous Second Son is like one of my favorite games ever, and I love the Sly Cooper games. So yeah, uh, I'm really happy for the studio.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad Sucker Punch deserves everything they can get. All the stuff they can get, and they're adding new content. They're adding a free multiplayer co-op mode.
Yeah, so I'll try to get this game whenever I can. But games are expensive. So all right, let's move on and let's just cover one more story, and then we'll get into the Matrix. So guys, 3 billion people worldwide now play video games. That's a lot of people.
But a lot of people giving shit here.
And also, apparently, like around half of them are girls.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they want to talk to you.
All this means is that, the gaming scene is going to get oversaturated and people are going to be like, oh no, change things to, cater to my interests, even though I'm.
I already saw I saw an article that said being good at video games is offensive. I'm like, what?
No, have you seen that fucking video of that dude? Oh, okay, so it's a game of Fall Guys, and it's the one where the floor falls out, and this dude's like just using a simple tactic of jump so that you have longer hang time. Uh, and this dude's like, "Oh, imagine being such a tryhard. You're ruining the game for everyone else, man. Fuck you. Get
Yeah, all you can say, get good. Because in a game that's competitive, that's what you do.
it."
Get
And
good.
like, if you want the satisfaction of winning, get good. If you don't care about winning, if it's not about winning, if you don't have that competitive spirit, then you know what? You don't need to win.
Or no. I can't say that. It's like it's like even if you are playing casually, the chances are you may get a win here and there.
So there's a lot in this article. It really breaks down the numbers, and apparently around like half of video game consumers are only on mobile. That's why the number is so
And
high.
they're not gonna, and I don't consider them gamers. Moving on.
Yep, me too. So yeah, like apparently 1.5 billion or 48% of global video game consumers are PC game consumers. So
Yeah, master race over here. Anyway,
So yeah, there's a lot of breakdown here. Mobile only users by region. Apparently, Asia consists of 53% of that. So
Shoot, you live in a communist regime and they got nothing to do. Shoot.
so yeah, not a surprise that gaming is growing each day, even if it's on mobile. But hey, man, there's gamers all around the world,
Yep,
even girls. Damn.
always has been. You're just stuck on that, aren't you?
Hey, it's
You really are stuck on that.
hey.
I'm concerned.
People only think that mostly guys play games, which is not true.
No, that number shift. That number has shifted, my friend.
All right. Anyways,
No one says that girls don't play them, but you're kind of hung up on that fact that they do.
hey,
It's like, yeah, they play games. Who gives a shit?
no, some
Play the
people do.
game.
That's what I mean. I mean, some people still think like the majority of girls don't play,
Hey,
but they do.
hang on. My hands on your shoulder. I'm sitting you the fuck down. Look me in the eyes, motherfucker.
Uh-oh.
The more that you make a big deal out of it, the more that you're showing that it's out of the norm. If you are like me and Hunter and you don't give a shit, you're showing that that is the norm.
Yeah, I mean, I know several girls that play games, and two were professionals. So I mean,
Yeah,
whoop your ass to Tekken and probably mine if I let them.
yeah. I'm just saying, like that's what I mean. I mean, people should consider it a norm. Like some people still don't.
Well, fuck those people. I mean, does it matter?
You're right. It doesn't. Okay,
Yeah, okay,
so
cool.
let's move on, and I'm probably gonna get more heat for our next segment. So,
You're goddamn right.
okay, so last week we talked about my first time viewing The Matrix, which was just last week, and I said it is not a perfect movie. It is not a masterpiece,
Yeah.
and this week I was like, okay, let me do my homework. Let me actually write down some points. Let me go through you know, let me go through some stuff and see what exactly I have problems with. And yeah, I have a bunch of points listed. So I thought let's get
Oh,
into it. Let's actually let's discuss
oh
this.
boy.
And
I feel like
these
I need a
aren't
drink or something. Good lord.
these aren't from memory. Like I wanted to make sure I got the points specific. So I went to CinemaSins, which um, I don't know how you guys feel about that channel, but they make a lot of valid points.
It's a bunch of.
Whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Hold up, hold up.
Here's my thing about Cinema Sins. Here's my thing about Cinema Sins. They're not valid because a lot of their points are strictly there for entertainment value.
Yeah, okay, but
They don't look at it. They don't look at the movie from a critical point. They look at it from a satirical standpoint, and just point out little inconsistencies or things that might be bloopers or whatever. That's the purpose of Cinema Sins. They're not actual movie reviews.
Yeah, here's the other issue. They want to have it both ways, where they can play things off as jokes, but they also want to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Like, let me point out another thing. They did a Cinema Sins on the John Wick movies. Now, I am not much of a gun guy, but I'm a gun guy. And one of their complaints was that, and I believe the second John Wick movie, he fires about 16 to 20 times without reloading with the pistol, which
Yeah.
is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like your average handgun can have anywhere between 16 to 21 bullets, and that's without an extended clip.
Yep.
yeah, okay, so they do, there's a lot of nitpicks. That's not what but they also like focus on specific plot points and things that may not make a lot of sense. So
You can't have it both ways.
like the little bloopers, nitpicks, that doesn't bother me. I mean, that's whatever, but like there are
Well, I mean, no. Because at any point you make going forward, I can just call it. What is it? I can just call it a logical fallacy because if your points don't stand up, actual scrutiny from real critics, then yeah, it's not good.
You're also basing this off of a satirical channel who tries to take themselves way too seriously.
Okay, wait. Let me get to the points first, and then look. Some of these points could be
Hold on, there's a better term for what I just told you. Hold on.
some of these points that I'm gonna make could be explained by you
Saga?
guys.
No.
So
It's in Latin.
okay, so should I start?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm loading my gun.
Okay, so like I said, some of these points may not be valid. You guys, that's what you guys are here for. Just want to know what you guys think about a lot of these points. All right, so the first one is something I mentioned last week. Let me just finish what I want to say first. It's the romance. Like, yes, romance is not the biggest part of this movie, but it is still in this movie. So, and it's not good. It's not well developed when Trinity says that she loves Neo. It's like, no, you don't. You don't. It feels forced, unorganic. It is not natural at all. It takes away from
What
the
the
moment. It
fuck?
takes away from the
You
moment.
shut the fuck up. No, hold up. Now, Mr. Cool, I'm about to out you right here.
Okay.
But just a few days ago, in fact, it might have been yesterday. We tried recording this before. What we call it, but it didn't succeed. We were talking about, relationships.
Okay.
And
Oh,
you were
God.
like, "Oh, I love moving into things really quickly." And I was telling you how when I was dating a girl, a week into that relationship, she was already talking about marriage, and you're like, "What's wrong with that? Do not tell me anything."
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wait. That's completely different. That is
Dude, I just undercut your point so easy.
that. Okay, wait. I'm not saying I love them if I go fast with them. That's the thing. She said she.
Hold up, you don't see a problem with marriage a week into the relationship, in a relationship where I felt no love.
You guys were like 14. That's different.
Dude,
I feel like
so
a mess.
this is basically circulus in demonstrando, which is a circular argument. This is his point. This is going to be a circular argument.
Okay, look. I just mean it wasn't well developed. It takes away from the moment. Like I like their relationship in the other two movies. Like it I really feel like there's a connection there. But in the first one, it's way too fast. So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, hang on. I'm, I'm not gonna defend it too much. You could take it as the suspension bridge effect. When you're in a life-threatening situation with someone, especially on the regular basis, you might feel like there might be love there.
Mm,
Yeah, that's a good
attraction.
point.
Attraction, sure,
I
but
mean,
love.
it's also Stockholm syndrome too, as well, because he was, even though he agreed to be there,
He didn't know what he was signing up for.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't realize that he was about to die.
Yeah.
Okay, let me continue with some of the other points. So the next
Okay,
one.
you know what? This first point, it's your loss. I'm marking it down.
So the next one, this doesn't really matter as much to me, but still, I do think it is a valid point. This is from Cinema Sins, this specific point, and I'm just gonna,
All right. No,
So
we'll let you have it.
invalid.
I'm just gonna read what they,
we'll have it.
I'm just gonna read what they
Fine.
stated in the in the video. So here it is. What is it that made Morpheus think Neo was the one? He's a computer hacker who works at a software company with no skills in the area of badassery, nothing incredibly notable accomplished in his life. What was the one thing that said, yep, this dude is totally worth going through a lot of trouble to unplug from the Matrix?
Hang on. Wait. Hang on.
All right.
Hang on. So from my understanding of the Matrix, they always go through a lot of trouble to unplug people. It's always a pain in the ass. They did it for Morpheus, they did it for Trinity, they did it for Cypher, they did it for all of them. Neo just happened to be the one that they were looking for. Morpheus always believed, yes, he could potentially be the one. But he probably felt that about a lot of people. This was just another test.
Yeah.
I mean, I sent it in the in the group.
Yeah,
Like,
I see. I get what you're trying to say. I'm undercutting your fucking point, though.
like it's a valid point.
I
Like,
mean,
there's no
causes of
reason. Like,
elimination. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's like you can. It's like basically it was multiple. It was a multiple choice test, and unfortunately, everything else he found was either wrong or turned against him. And it goes back to my original headcanon theory that Agent Smith was the original Neo and was corrupted, so he had to wait to find a new Neo.
I just think, I mentioned this last week. Like, there should just be a little more like info as to why this guy specifically is the one, instead of like, yep, he's the one because he's the one.
Wait. Why is Anakin the chosen one?
uh,
Thank you. Thank you. That's a better answer to your question. Why is Anakin the chosen one? Why is
Why-
the chosen one the chosen one?
Why was King Arthur chosen by the sword?
okay, that's why I said, this. It doesn't matter to me as much. I can accept this, but I just think it is. It
Then
could
why did
be.
you bring it
It
up?
could be. It could be a valid point
Yeah.
because it's like maybe you could have explained it, but okay.
No. See, here's the thing: the chosen one, from a story standpoint, is supposed to be the chosen one, and that is the vehicle for us, the audience, to better understand the story. He's gonna have all these MacGuffins, BS powers, or whatever, to make things easier on the viewer, so they don't have to understand as much. It's the philosophy of show don't tell. If they can show you things through a character without having to tell you, then that's a form of storytelling.
Basically, the other thing
Because when you
is, go ahead.
well, here's the thing: when you look at Anakin, we'll use him as another example. Anakin's a great chosen one because, yeah, Anakin as a little boy doesn't really know or have any knowledge of his force powers at all. He goes through a test, but that's about it. He doesn't really know too much anything else. He uses the force in a pod race of all things. The very kid-like thing to do. And later on in the story, you see how he starts seeing visions in the force. His mind becomes conflicted. As Padme dying, and I mean, it's his own powers coming against him. So he seeks out the mentor that's willing to give him the knowledge to save her life, immortality through the Force. And you don't know that. You don't know that immortality through the Force is a thing until you've read the novels that support what Darth Sidious says is true. That can be done, but unfortunate that he wasn't able to stop things because he's the one who ultimately killed his wife in the first place. He couldn't see all things, they were fragmented. But through him, you were able to go through all the episodes of those movies after Qui-Gon died without any guidance from Obi-Wan whatsoever. Everything else was set dressing around him to show those events. That is how Chosen One stories work.
Okay. Let's just say Neo being the one.
I'm sorry. I've been studying character analysis for like the past 3 weeks. So
Yeah, it's just okay. Let's just say Neo as the one is accepted. Fine, sure. I do have more points that is a lot harder to debate, and
You could certainly debate them, but you would have to, care about the point. And you said that this one doesn't really matter much to you.
this one, like,
It
okay,
is not the one point that you want.
okay. So how about this one? I'm just gonna send it in the group. Give me a
If there's
second.
another cinema sin, you're dead. I know it!
Okay, so this moment in the film, dude, Cypher blasts both of them, and he's still alive. Tank is still alive.
That's why they call him Tank.
Like,
yeah, that's in his name. He's the video game role of the tank.
like, dude.
Oh, hang on. Wait. This is the work of being the one. The universe will actively work in your favor. Like when you're one, it all revolves around you. Which, I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't like the idea of chosen ones in stories. But, sometimes you have to write in why
Well,
stuff in.
here's the thing. This doesn't even follow the chosen one. This doesn't even follow the chosen one story around that because Tank's thing Tank's thing is he can take more damage than the rest. He's basically that guy who should have replaced Leroy Jenkins in that clip because he would have been able to absorb all the incoming fire, while the rest of the raiding party was able to go through the doors just fine and get inside and have a chance to deal damage. That is what Tank's role literally is. He's a Warcraft character.
Also,
but Cypher, it'll take out Cypher because Cypher doesn't have the ability to withstand that much damage. Cypher was going to get hit and get taken out. That's just the way things are.
Cypher is a rogue while Tank is the tank. Easy clap.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Tank is fucking dead in that moment.
Also,
That's it.
wait. Tank was not just basically fine. Man was heavily breathing. And he was covered in sweat. Man was having a tough time.
Yeah, okay,
He
but
was basically fine.
Tank, Cypher shot both of them. The other guy died. Tank is fucking dead as well. There's no other way. There's no other way around this. He's dead.
No. Okay, so Cypher killed one other dude and Tank.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. The other dude, what the fuck was he doing?
I'm thinking we have a greater problem here.
Because I was going to say, Tank is at a computer.
Well, no, we have a greater problem here.
What's that?
Mr. Cool is taking everything. Is taking sentiments as facts, but due to his own ability to suspend disbelief for certain things. Tank is literally what it says in the name. That is his job. Tank is the toughest guy in the room. He got that nickname by being the toughest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
Hang on. No. You want logic? So, I'm going to tell you something. There's, a story of a man who survived being struck directly by lightning. And it's because he had headphones on. It fried the fuck out of his goddamn phone and the headphones. And of course he was hurt. Man should be dead, but he lived. Now, Tank, at a computer, surrounded by
electronics, thank you.
If you want to logic this, you want to logic a movie where people are flying through the air and a man is basically useless and can see while blind because he had his eyes shot down. Do not come to me with your logic. You sit the fuck down.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, and the thing is, it's like, was he sitting down?
He was sitting down. That's the thing.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure that chair's
the reason why he was mostly grounded, and everything around him was more conductive than him. If you want to get scientific with it, and here's your logic into the Matrix.
Okay, here's the thing. There's no problem with suspending your disbelief or anything like that, as long as it's within the rules of the universe that they've created. But
And it is within the rules of the universe they created, unfortunately.
not really. I mean,
No. You want to talk about how Cypher got instantly annihilated? He got sent off his feet, so he was no longer grounded.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
dude, he got shot right in the fucking face. Like, he's dead. He's straight up dead.
Tank
Okay,
did not
all
get
right.
shot in the face, if I remember. He got shot in the chest.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, straight up, just
but
shot
here's the thing.
smack in the middle.
But here's the thing, though. We're dealing with electricity here. We're not dealing with actual projectiles. You would have an argument here if we were talking about a slug-based or a physical round here. You would have a more concrete argument.
If Tank took a shotgun blast to the chest, then you know what? Fair enough. But Hunter's right. This is electricity. In fact, it looks like electricity. It could be energy for all we know. We don't know the rules of how this gun works.
We kind of do, because Cypher got shot and the other dude got shot, and they're dead instantly. They're dead. That's it.
I mean, wait. Was Cypher really dead, or was he knocked unconscious? Did they have to fucking double tap him off screen later?
Pretty sure he's dead.
No,
So,
no. Can you say for certain?
well, yeah, he's never in the movie after that.
Yeah, again, you're not disproving that they could have fucking double tapped him when the screen cut away.
Well, yeah, but that
That
that's not a valid
where
point.
did you see them? You know, where did they get rid of his body at?
I don't think there's.
By the way, hang on. No, here's another thing. You really want to logic this. How did Cypher not know that Tank wasn't dead? Because there's a real telltale sign that someone's fucking dead, and that's they defecate themselves. They void their bowels. You can smell that shit, literally.
I mean, I would say if he died off screen, if Cypher died off screen, that doesn't count. I mean, like that's not in the movie. He's probably dead in that moment. So
It's not in the movie, but so is why Neo is. There's a lot that doesn't get shown. It's you assume things like okay, either he died in that moment, or they finished him off, or he's tied.
All right. We're arguing for the point discussed. Let's move on.
all right, yeah. So
We're marking this one as another one of your losses.
okay, so
Stop bringing up CinemaSins.
I mean, they're just they
No. If this is his frame of reference for film, then I understand all of his problems. But we'll go ahead and work through this.
Okay, fine.
no. It's just that the points they make were the problems I had when watching the film, and they just have it there for me to reference. So that's why I use CinemaSins as a reference, and they're also a pretty good channel most times.
Well, yeah, I watch some of the things, but I watch it for entertainment, not critical movie takes. Not their reviews. I watch it for fun.
All right, and
Yeah, if you want to watch someone for critical movie takes, watch Mahler.
I watch Jeremy Johns. At least Jeremy Johns will give you some perspective on the film. At least.
I love Jeremy Johns, great YouTuber,
Thank
but
you.
but yeah. So I have a few more points here. It's sending.
Okay.
Hold on. It's more about Cypher.
I mean,
So when he goes into the Matrix and we see him, it's revealed that he's actually a bad guy. He's talking to one of the agents. It's like, wait a minute, how did he get into the Matrix without anyone knowing he's there, and without anyone knowing he's talking to an agent right now?
you know what? I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to explain away this one.
No. I want to go ahead and give him this one because if it's not explicitly explained in the film and how he did it, then yeah, I'll go ahead and give it to him.
Yeah, so it's just like, I was thinking like, how could this be possible? And it just really isn't. So, like, they could be tracking him anyway if they knew he was in the Matrix, right? So
It could be. Well, well, I mean, was there a scene before this? Did anyone rewatch this other than Mr. Gould?
No. Why would I?
Okay,
It's a masterpiece, but
okay, I'm just asking to make sure there isn't anything I missed because I did watch it, and I want to be sure that there isn't anything I missed. That's all I'm asking.
Hang on, let me. So if I remember right, I'm gonna do a quick, just in my mind, head count of who's on the ship. It's Cypher, Tank, Morpheus, Neo, Trinity, and then there's three other people. There's the blonde bitch. I think there's an Asian dude, and then there's just some other dude who gets ganked by Cypher. Now, the Asian and the blonde chick get killed by get unplugged Matrix. Morpheus is captured, I think, and then Trinity and Neo, of course, they're the only ones left, on the phone with Cypher. Now, all of those people, the ones who were in the Matrix at the time, would be asleep. By, what I would think. Tank and his co-pilot that got shot, they're operating the ship.
Okay, so that makes sense. That means no one would be around to see Cypher in the first place.
Yeah. Now you might ask, oh well, who unjacked him? Now the thing
Yeah.
is, he can jack himself if he can reach. It won't be found. Yeah, but I imagine since the Smiths, or rather, the agents are helping him, he doesn't need to make sure that he's not known. Because that's the point of what do you call it? The people at the computers. It's to track you and to check to see if there's agents around, to see if you're noticed. But Cypher is going in just raw to meet the agents. He wants to be found.
That's very true.
Mm.
Okay, so
So
yeah.
I can't really explain away the point, but I'm bringing up counterpoints here.
No. I mean, I can see it. I can see it working this way. So yeah, okay. You got one. You got one to your name.
Okay, next point. And this one I'm not too sure about because maybe you guys do have an explanation for this, but it is something that I was like, oh yeah, does that really make sense? So in this moment in the film, I'm sending it now. Give me a second. In this moment in the film, it's explained that this is how they see the Matrix, right? And it's like, wait, so when you're looking at the Matrix, you're just seeing these green lines, or what? Like it's
Yeah.
not really explained.
Well, the thing is, okay, all right. So this is where I get to shine here. You can read this. It's possible to read this because computers work on ones and zeros at the rawest level. But the thing is, it's not explained in universe how you read the Matrix. But it's like, yeah, you can see images in the code depending on how you interpret it, and depending on if you can read the sequence of numbers. That's why Cipher is known as Cipher, because he is deciphering the Matrix as it happens real time. So it can be done. There's also things like codes in real life that are like known as hexadecimal codes and things like that that can be deciphered and read. Um, there's also codes that were devised by like the Zodiac killer and whatnot that the police weren't even able to use or interpret. So, that's the reason why they still have caught it to this day. So yeah, code like this can be taught and learned.
It's so how code works is it's read by the computer, and the computer is taught to understand that code. Humans are basically the same thing. This is basically the people who can read the code are essentially computers who can process it. Because the mind is essentially the best computer of all. It's just needs some help. We
Okay.
just don't want things perfectly.
Yeah, but humans can learn to read this stuff. So yeah, the
It's-
movie isn't
It
wrong.
doesn't matter. It's just a matter of translating it in your head.
Okay. Fair enough. I didn't. Yeah, this is one of the points I didn't really notice until I did watch the CinemaSins video. So fine. All right. Now I have some points of my own. when I said
Thinking for yourself.
when I said last week the rules of the Matrix.
Homework.
The rules of the Matrix and some things I don't really get. So here's what I have to say about that. So let's talk about the Oracle and Neo's interaction. So the Oracle said to Neo, he is not the one, right? And later on, Morpheus says that she said everything that you needed to hear, exactly what you needed to hear. I just think that wouldn't it make more sense for her to say to Neo that he is the one? Like it just felt like when she said that, it's like more for the audience. Like, hey, you have to like as an audience member, we're telling you Neo is not the one, just so it could be a surprise later on that he actually is the one or something like that. I just
Well,
I just think it's more for the audience instead of the character Neo.
the thing is, I wouldn't have said the line, but at that point, you could also say that say he is not the one. I mean, reverse psychology.
Yeah,
I-
but That's what I mean. It's like it feels like that line is meant for the audience, not for the character in this world. Like, why would you say that to
Hang on,
him?
hang on.
So
Wait, Mr. Cool.
okay.
I really hate to use this analogy
Uh oh.
because the Matrix is a damn fine film, but okay, Avengers Endgame. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Now, in that, this spoiler alert. Iron Man asked Doctor Strange, out of all of the futures that you saw, is this the one where we won? The reply? If I told you, it won't happen. Essentially, the Oracle needs Neo to act in a way where he doesn't know that he's the one, where he doesn't think that he is. Because if she tells him, "Oh, you're the one," it might give him that little bit more confidence, where he might take certain risks that will lead to his death, and so he's not the one. But if he's doubting it, if he's like, "Okay, maybe I'm not,"
Yeah, basically what I was saying.
But
she's causing him to fulfill the prophecy
She's
himself.
she's conditioning him to act in that way.
okay, but like when she says he's not the one, it's like, oh, okay, so him as a character, like, why would he even need to try anymore when he knows when he just heard that he is
Because
not
he
the one?
wants to survive.
It's just like I just felt like it's more for the audience instead of the character. That line or that moment.
Well, no. There are lines of dialogue that can be spoken to both. Because, as you know, Deadpool is famous for breaking the fourth wall. He'll say something to the reader or to the audience, and all the other characters can hear him speak. Reader, they don't know who he's speaking to.
Yeah, but
In line, fourth wall breaking can be done that way.
I don't think the Oracle is a case of that one, though. I think it's, So at that point in time, speaking from a mental standpoint, Neo was not the one. He was still holding himself back. Now, everyone else, Morpheus, Trinity, they all believe, like, yes, I believe he's the one.
Yeah,
And
because he was
for a
doing
normal-
things that proved it.
To be, living your life as a normal dude and then having all of these people relying on you, it can, put a mental stress. Like, I have to fulfill these expectations. He wasn't ready to mentally live up to that. The Oracle probably saw that and was like, no, you're not the one. You don't have any expectations to live up to. And so instead of him thinking, I have to be this, it's, no, I can live. I can try to survive. I do things how I want to do them without feeling that external pressure from everyone else of they're expecting things of me.
Since he can just be.
I mean,
That is how you achieve the mental state of being the one.
well,
Yeah, you make your case here.
I still don't think the reverse psychology really.
I'm gonna fucking hit you. I swear to God.
Okay,
Like, wall.
let's move on. Let's move on. I do have one more point, and that's it. So, I mentioned this last week, but now let me explain it further. So, let's talk about that moment when Agent Smith, quote unquote, kills Neo, and then he gets resurrected by a kiss, right? So, here's my problem. In the film, they stated that if you get hurt in the Matrix, you also get hurt in the real world. You'll feel that in the real world too. So it's like if he got shot there, if he quote unquote died, doesn't that mean he's actually dead in real life as well? I mean, they established a rule there, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, now well, I'm gonna interject here and try to explain that.
I'm gonna let you go.
It's not about you're actually taking that damage in the real world. It's that your mind can't differentiate between the Matrix and the real world. And so that's why, if you're getting killed in the Matrix, your mind is like, yes, I'm dying, so I'm going to shut down. Your body will react in a way as if it is actually taking that damage. That's why when Neo's getting shot in the Matrix, he's actually spitting up blood in the real world. His body doesn't know. However, in that moment of the kiss, he's having two different sensations. It's oh shit, bullets and lips.
Yeah, he's got something real tethering him.
In that moment,
I guess if that's what you're going for.
his brain can differentiate, and he can now play the Matrix like it's a motherfucking video game.
I mean, but doesn't it? Well, okay, so it's like he went down. Like, doesn't it mean that his mind already thinks that he's shut down before that kiss?
I mean, to be fair, his brain was probably still shutting down. It hadn't fully shut down.
What?
I mean, no. Here's the thing.
It's not like they didn't hit him.
No. Here's the thing. In real life, the brain dies slower than the body. Your body can die, and your brain will still be active, trying to perform all the necessarily functions for a bodily shutdown. So his brain was still active. So it's very possible. Now, the kiss isn't the method I would have used. It's really fucking weird that they chose that. But yeah, the brain was still active, so it's totally possible that he still could have lived. It's just the method and what they went about visually. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that moment, it didn't work for me. I just thought they could have done it in a better way. So
It doesn't work for me either because, come on, really?
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I love this film. I do love the film.
I have no problem with this moment.
It's just that I don't think it is a masterpiece when I've seen better movies. It's a great film. It's just that I have seen better films.
They're still considered masterpieces, honestly. But this is the type of guy who finds something wrong with the Animatrix. So, I mean...
Well, yeah, okay, here's the issue. He can find things wrong with it. That's fine. But when you explain things like, this is why it makes sense, he just doesn't take it, and this is what bothers me. I'm so angry.
Okay, look.
I'm fucking tilted. I haven't tilted this much since Fall Guys when I was drunk.
You haven't tilted this much since the Towers, man. You could go back to Fortnite, I'm sorry.
Why you gotta bring up Fortnite?
Hey, I mean, you said tilted. I just related Tilted Towers. I'm sorry.
You could have related it to pinball.
So, those are my problems with the Matrix film. I mean, so yeah. Look, I get your points. I do understand it. Just that some of those moments just didn't work for me.
Your cinema sins. You only had one real valid point, and that was one of the cinema sins one, which that angers me.
Well, I mean, the cinema sin, broken clocks right twice a day.
I guess.
It's 12 noon and 12 midnight.
So yeah, hey, look, you got to give CinemaSins some credit. Like, yes, it's supposed to be for entertainment, it's satirical, but they also make a lot of valid points in their videos.
No. They made one. Not some. One.
Yeah, we debunked everything they said.
And even then, even the one valid point that they made, I was still able to provide some kind of explanation.
Yeah, it wasn't a college level explanation, but he still gave you something.
It's just that for me, when I think of a masterpiece, it means from start to finish, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the film.
You are in. What is a masterpiece to you?
That's
the whole problem, though. Films can be great, but there's also going to be points to where they're not masterpieces all the way through. There's no
flawless film.
Yeah, flawless film.
Wait.
You were able to find the only things that you really found wrong with the Matrix films were nitpicks. Those are the only things you found wrong.
What you found wrong with the Matrix was your inability to understand and think.
Wait. Okay, look, I do disagree with that. Like, I do think there are some perfect films out there, which is why.
Incorrect. Name one.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy, all three.
No. Lord of the Rings trilogy. They from the Eagles and just flown all the way to Mordor. But even then, I can explain away that one.
Yeah.
That point still exists.
And
Okay, all right. I got one for you. I got one. The reason why they didn't hop on the Eagles and fly away to Mordor is because it was the romance of adventure. It was literally that reason that they didn't do that.
I was going to say a logical reason as to why. The logical reason is that, had the Eagles been corrupted by the power, those are giant fucking eagles.
That's that too. But the thing is, Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings to be for the adventure. That's the reason why they didn't just hop on the Eagles and fly to Mordor.
and also The Shining. The Shining is a masterpiece to me. There's nothing that needs to be improved or changed from start to finish.
Oh God, you are very, very wrong there.
Uh-oh.
The Shining is good. The Shining is great.
Fantastic film.
It's a fantastic film, but there are in some inconsistencies in how the world works in that, because you look at all of Stephen King's books, they all form one big universe. The Shining is in the same universe as The Dark Tower. It is in the same universe as The Shining. They all fit together. That is the whole thing.
Yeah,
so
but
it's like, okay, in order to fully understand The Shining, you have to understand how the other worlds work, and the world building has to support that.
but to me, like, the film itself stands on its own. Like, the world they've built, the rules of the world, like everything. There's nothing wrong with that film, in my
No,
opinion.
because it had I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with the film, because directorially, yeah, it could have done some scenes better. It did what it needed to. The director itself was serviceable, but the only reason why it was good the way it was is because it was written basically flawlessly. The writing is what makes The Shining a masterpiece, not anything else. The performances were good. Don't get me wrong, but everything else about it was serviceable.
So
I could probably find flaws in it just because I'm an asshole, but I'd have to care to rewatch it, and I don't.
so
Bring me another flawless film, and I shall try to smack it.
okay, sure. Let's see if you guys can debate this. To me, a masterpiece is also a Toy Story, the Toy Story trilogy.
Yeah, I can debate you on that one too, but okay.
I feel like CinemaSins has made a video on Toy Story, since you consider them to be actual people who make valid points.
I believe they have made, um,
Then it's not a flaw. We'll find flaw in it, no?
but like there's nothing.
Yeah, thank you. Use this logic against it.
No,
That's
to
exactly
me-
what's going on here.
To me, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing I would change in those films. They are perfect from start to finish.
All right. Okay. All right. Toy Story 3 does some of the most out of character stuff going on for that world. Let's see.
They should have died at the end.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there was really no other way out. I mean, they literally got MacGuffin out of the end of the movie.
It worked. That moment worked for me because it was set up before with the aliens, being obsessed with the claw.
The claw.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little green men ended up doing a thing. But the thing is, it's like the LGMs were just doing what they always did. The fact that it worked out for everyone else is circumstantial as hell.
Normally, you need to be a chosen one to have that fucking kind of circumstance.
So, like, I know other people have different, like, people think of a masterpiece in a different way, maybe, but to me, I just think it means it is a completely perfect film, and I do think there are perfect films out there, like the ones I've mentioned, and I have a few more, but yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is the guy that's gonna sit here and tell me that I'm gonna say this, that The Godfather is not a perfect film, but sit here and tell me that Toy Story 3 that
Wait,
Toy Story is perfect.
I haven't said anything about The Godfather.
Well, say something about The Godfather then. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sit in the corner.
Hey, I've been
We're kicking
wanting
you off your own
I've been
podcast.
wanting to watch it for years.
Then watch it.
Like, there's a lot of films to
I
watch.
mean,
Just
think about it. Think about it. You have all these great films out there by Christopher Nolan, Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio at this point, Ben Affleck.
yeah.
I mean, there's good film, there's good to great films out there. But even then, I can tell you, as much as I love Wolf of Wall Street, it still isn't a masterpiece because Boiler Room is way better than the Wolf of Wall Street ever will be, as far as the Jordan Belfort story.
I have seen The Wolf of Wall Street, and I do think it's pretty close to perfect. I do love that film quite a lot.
You know, two movies that I consider masterpieces that people will disagree with me on:
Mm.
Kung Fu Hustle and The Raid Redemption.
The Raid Redemption was just more. The Raid Redemption was just more of the same.
I stand by it.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it was good. I'm not saying it wasn't good. It's just it was more of the first movie, and then amped up to 11 in some parts, which was really cool. It was hyper violent and it was really fun action. But the thing is, it's like I'll say this: you can't maintain that level of speed and the explosive style of martial arts that was showcased in the raid for very long, because then you're going to become tired, and the fights are just going to get drawn out. I mean, you're going to be fighting. You're going to have muscle fatigue. You're going to get slower. Your breathing is going to get labored. You can't have that unless you're at peak human conditioning. You're not going to be able to fight like they do in the raid, like at all.
Well, okay, so since we're already talking about masterpieces, I'll just list down the others I have. Like, I've seen a lot of movies. There's just very few that I consider perfect. So, like I said, The Lord of the Rings, The Shining, Toy Story, Ratatouille, another Pixar film.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, the one with the rat fucking cooking.
No. You better replace that with Wally right now, son.
Well, Wally's fantastic as well. Wally is fantastic.
I think Wally was better. I think Wally's better than Ratatouille. That's just my personal opinion, but okay.
The
Wait, hang on. I wanna rewind back real quick. Hunter, you said the Raid Redemption was more of the same, right?
Yeah, it was more of the same, and it amped some things up to 11, such as the level of violence and the level of choreography, but that's really about it.
Wait, you as can more of the same as compared to what?
More of the same as the first raid. I saw
They're
that.
the same.
No,
Raid, the name of the film was changed to The Raid Redemption in the United States as distributor Sony Pictures Classics.
Okay, so I'm considering why would they change the title?
I don't.
It makes me think it's a sequel. I've seen
Yeah.
the Raid 2 as well, so it makes me think it's a sequel. That's dumb.
The Raid
Okay.
2 was what do you call it? Another film that was released in 2014. The Raid, which was also The Raid Redemption in the U.S., because they couldn't secure the rights to the title.
Oh my god! But Redemption's the worst tagline you could have put on that. But,
Yeah,
it makes me think it's a sequel.
Redemption makes you think it's a sequel, but it's the actual film. The Raid 2 was just The Raid 2.
Okay, all right.
So the Raid, we're talking about the same film, the very first one.
Okay, all right. Because the thing is, I saw the Raid 2, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, the Raid Redemption. Okay, all right. That must also mean Raid 2 in another country. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I haven't seen the Raid 2. I've seen the first.
Oh, okay. Well, the Raid. What I said applies to the Raid 2 then.
Okay. Also, great soundtrack. You have Mike Shinoda, who was a part of Linkin Park. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, not even just Linkin Park, Fort Minor as well.
Fort Minor, and then now he's been making a lot of solo music. Open Door,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, he's freaking. Mike Shinoda's freaking great. But what was the rest of your list, Mr. Cool?
Right, so Lord of the Rings, The Shining, Toy Story, Ratatouille, Monsters Inc., and University.
Did you just include University?
Slippery slope.
University, yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand why people think that's not as good as the first one.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Like it's
Well,
so
I also wouldn't like. Is he listing out masterpieces? Because I wouldn't include the first one.
well,
Either.
no. No, first one, I agree with it. The first Monsters Inc. is actually a masterpiece because its character development at its finest. That is why it is. It shows character relationship in a way no other animated film did at the time. So yeah, I'd go ahead because it actually had something to say. That is why I like Monsters Inc.
and I
Monsters University, I don't get. They did a prequel way before they shouldn't have did a prequel for the sequel.
yeah, it's just that I found University so charming, so just so perfect. I don't see what's bad about the film. But anyways, I also have Troy. I mentioned that last week. I think that's a masterpiece.
What was it?
Troy.
Troy.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that.
Okay. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson. Fantastic. All right. I have two more here. Okay, these are I don't know how you'll feel about these two. These are both rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. The first one,
Okay.
these are yeah, like to me personally, just for me, these are masterpieces. The first one is The Mummy Returns, the sequel to the 1999 Mummy film,
Okay.
and In the Heart of the Sea, came out 2015 with Chris Hemsworth and Tom Holland.
Oh yeah, you know what? I actually heard about that one.
I,
Um,
I didn't even hear about that one.
yeah, I heard about that one. I haven't seen it.
Like
I haven't seen the last. I haven't seen the last two on your list. The last couple on your list. So I
yeah,
can't say anything about those.
so
I
like
saw The Mummy Returns as a kid. I can't say anything because I was a kid.
yeah, so like I've seen these films multiple times. I think from start to finish, completely perfect. Nothing to change or improve when it comes to these films. But that's it.
Well, I mean, thing about it is, thing about it is, it's like when you sometimes when you watch media, you look at it through a more. It's basically what I do. I don't necessarily nitpick. I enjoy the story for what it is, and then I go back, watch the film again, and realize, hey, some parts of this aren't as great as I thought. It's like I consider the first Boondock Saints film to be a masterpiece because it basically is from direction, writing, character standpoint. Um, how well Troy Duffy basically did that film. It was great. I mean, it stars Willem Dafoe, one of his best roles as well. Uh, but nobody carried a movie; they all carried it together, and that is what makes that good to me as well. Blade Trinity was okay, was weird, was all right. I consider that a good movie, just because I like the character interactions. It was tight and well written, but as a film, it fails a lot. Yeah, that's all I can really say.
So I do recommend you guys to watch In the Heart of the Sea and the other films I've mentioned. Um,
Well, but I know In the Heart of the Sea actually has some good buzz behind it.
yeah. So yeah, that's the homework for you guys if you're interested.
Yeah, I got nothing really going on Friday, so I'll probably check it out Friday.
Cool. Yeah, let's wrap this up because we've actually gone overtime. So yeah, interesting discussion here, guys. Do you have any final thoughts? And if you want to plug anything, go ahead.
I've got nothing to plug this week. In fact,
Final thoughts?
I think Tommy has left the building or is on mute.
Wait, what?
Oh, do you have anything to plug?
Oh yeah, as per usual. Discord 7 Productions on YouTube. You can find my podcast and some streams on there. On occasion, I edit the odd video that I'll throw up. You want to join us over on Twitch at Discord 7. We stream D&D and Call of Cthulhu there. Hunter's there. I'm there. It's a great time. He takes walks with a chicken, and I consider killing my teammates.
Yeah. And when the B group's game, by the way, does it happen tonight or is it on Friday again?
I don't know. Ask Mario and Minna. I don't set up for B group anymore.
Yeah, because I don't ever know. They don't ever tell me anything. They just kind of expect me to show up.
They put it in the actual chat.
Ugh.
Like, I created a role just for you guys. Group B.
Okay.
Anyways, what do you call it? Final thoughts. Stop going to Cinema Sense for your valid points because they're not valid.
Okay. And my final thoughts is I enjoyed this discussion we had. I think we should have more of these. Like, we should come up with a topic and then we could just debate. Because this was pretty interesting. So, anyways, at the end of the day, this is a gaming podcast. So, like every week, we'll come back once again with all the latest gaming news. So, subscribe.